Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special college football edition of the You Thought Sports Podcast. My name is Lucas, and I'm here with my host, Jarod, today. Before we get started discussing this week's college football results, where our beloved Notre Dame did not play because of a series of positive COVID tests, we're going to remind you to please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube, where we post videos every week. We love hearing your feedback and having it help us make better content. So, we'll start off today in Oklahoma. So, Jarod, this past weekend, Oklahoma once again seemed to failed to live up to their lofty expectations and lost 38-35 to Kansas State, with losses to subpar teams in the past few years and big college football playoff losses seemingly every year. Is it fair to say that Oklahoma is the most consistently overrated team in college football?
No. I totally get the question, but I'm definitely not on board with this. They're usually ranked right where they should be. They're like the fourth best team in the nation. They're not in the Clemson, Alabama tier, but I think they're right where they should be. What do you think?
I don't know. I disagree. I feel like if a team is ranked fourth best, they should be competitive in the playoffs. They shouldn't be losing games they're heavily favored to win. They are. They've lost in the last 11 years. They've lost 6 times in games where they're 20-plus point favorites. The next highest team has only lost 3 times as a 20-point favorite. So that means people are consistently overrating them. They lose games they should win. And their college football playoff record since its inception, 6 years ago or whatever it was, they've been in it 4 times. They're 0-4. There was the one close overtime loss to Alabama where Baker was great. 2018 was only by 11, but they were mostly, or to Georgia, to Georgia. 2018 against Alabama was closer, but it was 11 points, and they got some garbage time points, so it looked closer than what it really was. And then they got smacked by LSU 63-28 last year. I just think
they're playing the number 1 seed. I don't know. What do you expect?
No, but I feel like
they played great against Georgia in that Rose Bowl game. I'm not holding that against them too much.
No, but don't you think if a team is consistently making the playoff, they should at least be generally competitive year in and year out, and shouldn't be every year losing these games to Kansas State in back-to-back years?
Well, my other question would be, do you think the Oregon Ducks, if they were 4, or Utah Utes would also be losing by like 20 points to Clemson and LSU? They probably would. So I don't think Oklahoma's overrated.
I don't know, but they never get the chance is the thing. I think they're overrated because they are given the benefit of the doubt of name recognition a lot, which is like the same argument that I think people make about Notre Dame all the time, but with Oklahoma, it's actually true. Like Oklahoma, they get the benefit of the doubt of that name recognition, always get that 4th spot in the playoffs, and 3 out of 4 times haven't even put up a fight in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not all name recognition though. If you're averaging, they've been top 10 in the FBS points per game at least the last 3 years. They were 1st when they had Kyler Murray, 3rd when they had Baker, and then 6th when they had Jalen Hurts. So that's not overrated. Like, that's something. I'll get the argument that the Big 12 is trash. Like the Big 12 kind of is trash, but they still win the conference. You know, like they lose a game. Every team loses a game. Clemson lost to Syracuse. Sometimes on like wonky games. Alabama loses to Auburn. Yeah, I don't think they're like the legit maybe championship team that we want them to be, but they're not overrated. I think 4th is like right where they should be. That's what I think.
No, I think that like you can make the argument that like in years past that like you'd prefer like a Penn State or a Michigan who maybe has 2 losses over Oklahoma. They don't even play a conference. They didn't play a conference championship until 2 years ago.
Yeah,
they kept getting the benefit of the doubt there. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like
did they even get in though before they had conference championships?
Yeah, they did. I think two of their 4 playoff appearances came before they had a conference championship. Okay. I don't know. It's frustrating to me as like a Notre Dame fan where there's consistently this argument where like Notre Dame is only flying by on name recognition when Oklahoma every year gets into the playoff, gets smacked, and then we do the exact same thing next year. Like, I get their offense is impressive. Like, every year they can put forward a great offense, but their defense is never up to snuff. And I don't know. I just don't think you can ever be a top 4 team in the country with one of like a bottom half defense. Like,
yeah, I guess I don't think. But if a team does one thing great, which they do on offense, like I don't think it's over. I don't think your team is overrated. They do have glaring, because Notre Dame, obviously I love Notre Dame, but they're not like a top 10 offense in the FBS, you know, where Oklahoma is year in and year out. They're a juggernaut on offense, and I think that's. Yeah, I think that counts for number 4 team in the nation. I think that's fair.
No,
with Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson in front of them, that's fine.
I don't know. I just think that like whenever there's like a tie-breaking vote, they're always the ones chosen. And I do think like having that great offense counts for a lot. Like I agree. Like I think it at least puts them in top 10, top 15 status. But I don't know when there are other teams
they're easily in top 10.
Yeah, easily. I think they're bottom half, top 10 most years, but that's another argument for another day.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're never a complete team. They never can put it together when it comes to the playoffs. Yeah. And it seems like the same mistake just keeps being made year in, year out, where they get slid into the 4th spot, they lose to whomever they play, and then they're out. It's just they're basically getting a first-round bye. Whoever plays Oklahoma gets a first-round bye in the playoffs.
Well, it's not... I don't know. You make it sound that easy. You don't want to take away too much credit from the people that are shutting them down, too. The other teams that are shutting them down. I think playing in the Big 12 really hurts them, though, where there's just like no defense in general.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe that's inflating how good they are. That could definitely be true, but I'm not saying they're consistently overrated. I'm happy with how they're rated overall.
That's fair. You can have that opinion, I guess.
Yeah, you can be wrong.
Yes. Oh, one last point I'd like to add before we transition. They don't even like train and develop their own best talent. Like the 3 guys they've had.
They have 2 of the last 3 Heismans.
Yeah, like all of them transferred in. All of them transferred in. It's like not like they're developing the talent. They're handpicking that talent. But they transferred
for a reason because they wanted to be in that system.
Well, yeah. So like, but it's not like. They're not like taking guys and making them fit their system and developing them as players. What they're doing is they're like cherry picking guys across the country who fit their system, throw them in. And it doesn't feel like they're developing players. That's a minor point and probably not even a great one, but I thought I'd just throw that in on the top.
We'll see. I mean, Spencer Rattler is I believe, homegrown recruit, right? He didn't transfer in, so we'll see. He didn't look that great, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We will see on that one.